D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So welcome to my week in review, where I come to you every Sunday with 3 entertainment stories that I personally find interesting, and then we discuss them down below. Now, I didn't do a week in review last week because Saturday was DC Fandom, and I just needed a day to recover, and I didn't have time to get stories together and all that stuff. Also, I'm sorry I haven't been posting that much this week. I've had a lot of personal issues to deal with, and that stuff just takes a lot of time and everything. But before I get started on these stories, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is about to do their annual bot cleanse and old account purge, and there usually is a little bit of collateral damage. So I just please ask that you consider liking, subscribing, and sharing my videos, and I thank you in advance. So let's get started on these 3 stories. So for my first story of the day, the Game of Thrones prequel series House of the Dragon may be looking to cast Daemon Targaryen, also known as the Rogue Prince, as the television and film industry begins to open up once again. Now, news regarding the upcoming shows such as House of the Dragon have begun to surface. Now, details regarding the Game of Thrones prequel have been scarce, but there may be news about casting that may provide fans with some insight into the series. Now, according to the Illuminati, I love that name, the Illuminati, the HBO series is currently searching for someone to fill the role of Daemon Targaryen. The casting call explains that the character is the younger brother of King Varys. He's less methodical and more impetuous, not to mention easily bored. It states, before explaining the prince's prime obsession, he seeks to earn Viserys' love and acceptance. And the casting call also notes that most of Daemon's joy is found at sword point, but even as most experienced warrior of his time, he facilitates between vile and heroic. Now, the casting call also states that filming is scheduled to take place sometime between January and December 2021. That's like the whole year. HBO programming president Casey Bloys previously suggested that House of the Dragon will likely air in 2022, but could not provide a more specific window. House of the Dragon is based on George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood, which follows the Targaryen dynasty and takes place hundreds of years before the events of Song of Ice and Fire. 10 episodes have been ordered by HBO for the first season, and the pilot is being written by Game of Thrones director Miguel Sapochnik. I don't know if that's how you say his name. I hope so. This is fine by me. I'm not 100% on board with this Game of Thrones spinoff because I just feel like that last season really sucked, and I really wasn't impressed that much since season 5. So I just, it's just one of those things, like, I'll probably watch it, but just because I'm going to get HBO Max once the Snyder Cut hits, and I mean, if it's on there, I'll watch it just because, content. So that's my first story of the day. So for my second story of the day, TikTok's chief executive is resigning after pressure from the Trump administration. It's been the better part of a month since the first indication that the White House wanted the American wing of the Chinese company under control of the United States. There was a lot of posturing by both the app's officials and the government about the fate of the short video platform. But now it seems that Mayer is calling it quits in a letter to the staff reported to the New York Times. In the letter, the executive points to the numerous political moments of recent weeks which have turned up the heat surrounding an app used mostly to showcase teenagers dancing. With the executive order to stop the function of the app in the U.S. drawing closer, Mayer felt like this was the best time to step down. In recent weeks, as the political environment has sharply changed, I have done significant reflection on what the corporate structural changes will require, and what it means for the global role I signed up for. Against this backdrop, and as we expect to reach a resolution very soon, it is with a heavy heart that I wanted to let you all know that I have decided to leave the company. A spokesman for TikTok told the Times that they were thankful for the executive's contributions. Now, Vanessa Papas will serve as the global head of the company. She helped pen the initial response to all the fan fervor surrounding the app when the ban got floated on Air Force One. Now, I find this very crazy because he just quit Disney to run TikTok, and now he's quit TikTok and everything, but mostly because the app might be shut down. And I hope it does. I have a lot of problems with TikTok. I don't have a problem with the dancing portion of it and all the comedy stuff. My biggest problems is with the challenges that it helps promote. I know there's a lot of stuff like Facebook and all that stuff. They have their own problems, but I have very specific problems with TikTok. I mean, I saw a challenge one time where it was like called the over-under challenge, where somebody jumps up in the air and one person pushes them and the other one sweeps their feet. And I'm just like, that's just a disaster waiting to happen. And it's TikTok sucks, okay? That's just the point of that. Maybe I'm an old man, but TikTok sucks. So that's my second story of the day. So for my third and final story of the day, on Wednesday, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention announced a surprising reversal in its guidance about who should be tested for COVID-19. After weeks of encouraging those who may have been exposed to the coronavirus but are not showing symptoms to get tested, the CDC announced on Wednesday that the new guidelines suggest that asymptomatic people may not need to be tested at all. The unexpected shift raised concern and questions among many, and that includes Disney's chairman Bob Iger. Now, Iger took to Twitter on Wednesday night to call the shift in guidelines horrifying. This is more than disappointing, Iger wrote. It is horrifying. That's what he said. I'm sorry, I wanted to quote him correctly. Now, while it may seem unusual for someone like Iger to have an opinion about the CDC's latest guidance, it's not completely surprising. Back in April, Iger was one of the dozens of Californian leaders named to Governor Gavin Newsom's Business Recovery Task Force, a group put in place to help lead the state out of the economic recession caused by the coronavirus pandemic. And the pandemic has had devastating economic impact, not just in California, but across the country, and Disney has not been immune. Just last week, it was reported that the attendance at Walt Disney World is down nearly 80%, compared to a similar time in the years past. Now, the theme park has beefed up its safety protocols in response to the pandemic in what Disney Parks boss Josh D'Amaro, I hope I said that right, sorry if I didn't, called a new norm. Now, I just have to say, as far as the pandemic goes, I'm one of those people that I am very much like, I don't go anywhere unless I absolutely have to like work or something like that, but I just don't leave my house. I wear a mask everywhere except for my house, and I just think that I know some people think that it's crazy and everything, but I do think that if we just hunker down for 2 weeks, it would go away, or at least like pretty much gone. But people don't want to do that, and you know, to each their own, I guess. But as far as Bob Iger saying something, I think that it is a little strange considering the fact that he still does work for Disney and he is a higher up, and I would assume that he just wants things to get back to normal so that way they can business can be as usual. But at the same time, it is refreshing to see somebody that is higher up saying like this is crazy and that we need to take it more seriously. So tell me, what do you guys think about these three stories? How do you feel about the casting for Game of Thrones House of the Dragon? And are you going to watch that, and are you looking forward to it? How do you feel about CEO for TikTok resigning? And then how do you feel about Bob Iger's comments about the CDC's update guidelines for COVID-19? You can go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next Sunday on my Week in Review. You guys have a good week. Bye! Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that Geek What icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and join me every Sunday with my Week in Review.